Hello.
Hi,
Yeah, can you hear me?
I'm doing well, and you?
Thank you. I am not in my house. I'm in Nha Trang City. Do you know Nha Trang?
I know Nha Trang, yes.
Yeah. So I don't know. I cannot connect VU through 5G. I had to went out, go down to sitting in the coffee shop. So it's not convenient. Not much convenient for the study today.
Okay, all right.
Okay. So
So,
can we have a 30-minute talk?
what now?
Yeah, 30 minutes.
Yeah, we can have a 30-minute talk.
Yeah, yeah. Because tonight I will go back to Ho Chi Minh City by
Okay.
bus. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
All right. So what we're going to talk today about is we're going to talk about Vietnam. So I'm going to open up this topic.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to read you something, and then we're going to discuss it. All right.
Yeah.
So Vietnam beat America on the battlefield in 1975. They beat China at its own economic model,
Yeah.
then beat every prediction about what a post-war communist country could become. Here is the country that keeps winning when the world gets bets against it. So
Yeah.
in 1975, the war ended with the Chinese, right?
Yes.
Okay. So that at that point, the infrastructure in Vietnam was gone. The infrastructure was severely hurt by bombs that America and that especially
Yeah.
the Americans dropped on Vietnam, right? Vietnam's industries were destroyed.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, Vietnamese industries
Right. Right.
were destroyed. The world
Yes.
assumed recovery would take decades, would take very long.
Correct.
So I say the world assumed that recovery would take very long.
True.
But the world assumed wrong because during that time, central planning took place. The state, there were lots of work that was being done on state farms. Enterprise were restricted. The inflation
Yeah.
during that time, I'm talking about shortly after 1975, shortly after the last war ended. Inflation hit 700% in Vietnam. So the cost of living was very high at that point in time. There were a lot of food shortages everywhere. Food was scarce. And
Yeah.
Vietnam was running out of options. But then came, let's fast forward to the year of 1986, Doi Moi, the
Yeah.
start of the economic renovation. Now, can you tell me what happened during that time? What happened during 1986? Because that is where Vietnam started to recover quickly.
Yeah. So yeah, you're right. Um, we was in a very difficult situation after the war because after reunion 1975, we have another more than 10 years fighting with there another two wars with China and Cambodia.
Yeah.
So yeah, so the war actually end up by 1989, 1989.
19,
After
19,
eh,
1989.
yes, with Cambodia. So we withdraw army force from Cambodia to back to Vietnam. So
Okay.
during 1979, start war with China until 1989. Decade, we are very difficult situation because the border conflict continue with China.
Yeah.
So a lot of a lot of effort, a lot of resource we had to utilize for border protection for both sides. China in the north and Cambodia in the south. So
Mm,
it's a terrible, horrible time. Then luckily that after Đôi Mươi, the leader they decide not to keep the army force in Cambodia. Then from year 90, after that, we improve our relationship with US, EU to focus on economic growth, to
yeah.
build up industrial industry sector. Uh, uh, at that time, also um, a lot of you may remember a collapse of Soviet Union, right?
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, accompanied with the collapse of what's that uh, communist country is a war. So we have no choice to have a collaboration with uh, America and EU not cannot continue with the model build up the economic model share and build up by the Soviet Union.
Okay, but
So
I want to interrupt you here. I want you to tell me what exactly happened during the Doi Moi era after 1986. Economic
um
reno-
uh,
economic
yes,
renovation to
one
economic.
one one thing I can
Just wait for me one
one thing I
second.
can tell you is
Just wait for
prioritize.
me. Okay, wait for me one second. Um, what I want to know is, yeah, what happened exactly after 1986 during the Doi Moi era? I'm reading here. Economic renovation took place. There was not full capitalism. Vietnam was not abandoning communism, but something in between happened that nobody had tried at that scale. So
Mm,
something in between happened that worked for Vietnam that nobody else, no other country in the world have ever tried before. And that's what I want
yeah.
to get to know. I want to know what happened.
So privatize. The state do not control private business. So before that, we follow Soviet Union model. Everything,
Okay.
everything's provided by the government, by the state.
Yeah.
So it affects to the efficiency and productivity. So after privatized for many sectors, uh, it increased the contribution from every everybody. That is a state sector only focus on some key area. So I think the way we do is a mix up. We did is a mix up between Soviet Union's economic model, like a
Yeah.
state-owned enterprise still maintained to control or to operate in some key area like oil and gas, electricity, aviation, transportation, and the market is open. It's not
Yeah.
we say it's a free market instead of control market like
Yeah.
the past. So time by time, it happened. We are mixed up a model between Western market and uh, uh, communist market model.
Okay.
So
I'm
yeah,
reading here exactly what you are saying. I'm reading here that private businesses were legalized during that Doi Moi time.
yes,
Um,
yeah,
Foreign investments were welcomed. So Vietnam
yeah.
opened its markets to the Western world to invest in. So
Mm-hmm.
global brands saw a stable, low-cost alternative to China, and that is still today the case.
Yeah,
A lot of countries prefer to invest in Vietnam when doors are starting to close in China.
yeah,
Um, they would rather prefer to invest in Vietnam than in any other Southeast Asian country. But I just want to go back. I've seen that something else that I've read was that farmers could sell surplus crops for profit. So we've read about that there was a big food shortage at a certain point in time, shortly after the war. But farmers
yeah.
started to grow rice on state farms, and the farmers could sell then. The state allowed the farmers to sell surplus crops for profit, for money for their own pockets.
Correct.
Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
So food shortages to one of the largest rice exporters on earth started to shrimp. It started to go down.
Yeah,
And that happened under a decade. It didn't take more than 10, that whole thing happened in less than 10 years. Right?
yeah, yeah. That's
So,
right.
and that is the same land and the same farmers, but just different rules
Yes.
that were incorporated by the state.
Yeah.
Right. So all this came the legalization of private businesses, the foreign investments that were welcomed, the global brands that saw a stable, low-cost alternative to China. All that happened very fast. Now, I've traveled to Bac Ninh, and there's a place called Yen Phong,
Uh-huh.
where Samsung, then I think
Okay.
Samsung is a North Korean company, if I'm not mistaken. A South Korean company.
South. Yeah.
Yeah, South Korean company. And they built their its largest factory there in Yinfeng, in Bac Ninh.
Correct.
More than half of all Samsung smartphones today are being manufactured there. And one factory decision by a foreign country that transformed Vietnam's entire economy.
Mm.
That was the start of it. Do you've got any viewpoint on that?
Yes. You Samsung play a very important role in terms of contribution to GDP and
Yeah.
import export volume.
Yeah.
I think their portion contribution would be around 15%, 15%.
Yeah.
Yeah. So any matter affecting to their business operation
Yeah.
will have a big impact to macroeconomic.
Yeah.
So the government provide a lot of favorable treatment or incentives
Yeah.
for Samsung Group
Yeah.
because they have not only Bắc Ninh, they also have another big factory in Thái Nguyên, and
Yeah.
the other one in Ho Chi Minh City.
Okay.
So yeah, so Samsung companies they got for example priority in terms of performing import export custom procedure and tax incentive as well. So
Okay.
it likely they don't have to pay income tax, corporate income tax in Vietnam
Yeah.
because of incentive.
Yeah.
So I think yeah, it's true. The leader, Vietnam leader, understand how important of Samsung to the economy, because
Yes.
not only Samsung, they also have the vendor investing in Vietnam to provide to build up a supply chain here.
Yes.
So yeah, if we talk Samsung only, it's not correct. We need to think about around or satellite companies
Yeah.
supporting for Samsung operation.
Yeah.
So
But
it's
you
very
know, it's
important.
yes, I hear exactly what you're saying. And it's not only Samsung. I've read last year that the Vietnamese government is still making adjustments to their visa regulate to their visa regulations
Uh-huh.
to make it easier for companies to invest long term and big capital in Vietnam. All right. So
Right, right.
there are incentives. The government is making it worth the while for companies to invest in on big scale, and then for workers to open up companies in Vietnam, and then send people to come and work, and then they make it easier for that people to stay for a long period of time in Vietnam, and they make visa regulations easier.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it's very positive. Now, I just want to make another point. I came back to, I'm going to come back to the point now where I said now that a lot of companies, they like to invest in Vietnam rather than any other Asian countries. Now, I've got a slide here, and the heading of the slide says where companies are going when they leave China. Now, all this is about the ongoing US-China trade war that is
Yeah.
going on already for a long time, and it's still going on. So, just for interesting sake, Vietnam is number. They are. Well, I'm telling you, the highest. Yeah, it's the most favorite country.
Okay.
Where companies are going when they leave China. Now, okay, they say Japan is number 5, South Korea is number 1, Taiwan is number 11, Myanmar is number 2, Philippines 3. But this is not number, this is how many companies move across to these countries. So there's Vietnam, 26 companies.
Mm-hmm.
In comparison to other countries like I just said, Japan 5, South Korea 1, Taiwan 11, Myanmar 2,
Yeah. Mm.
Cambodia 4, Thailand 8, Indonesia 2, Malaysia 3, Bangladesh 2, India 3, USA 3, Mexico 6. So by far, Vietnam is the most attractive country for companies to invest, especially in the Southeast, and when it comes to this ongoing US-China war, trade war that's going on.
Yeah, trade war. Yeah.
Yeah, and what happened was Vietnam was ready to take on those companies. They were ready. So it happened all very quickly, like companies, like big companies, American companies like Apple, Nike, Intel. Yeah. So, which was very good.
Yep.
Now, since the end of the war in 1975, the literacy rate in Vietnam jumped to over 95%. Can you believe that?
Mm-hmm.
So 95% of the population today, and I think today it's even higher, but 95% of Vietnam's population can read and write. And Vietnam is known as one of the most educated young workforces in Southeast Asia. Factories need engineers, not just for labor. And Vietnam understood that early. So they worked very hard on that. The poverty rate dropped from 70% to under 4%. Since the end of the war in 1975. And that happened in one generation. Now, Vietnam's got a population of between 90 and 100 million people.
Yeah.
So that reduction in poverty is the fastest poverty reduction in modern history. So I think that's quite significant. I think that's astonishing. That's excellent. Now, one thing that Vietnam didn't do, Vietnam didn't follow the Western playbook. They didn't follow the Western, can I say, market, or the Vietnamese, or the Western playbook. Do you understand what I'm saying if I say that?
What Western? Can you say it again?
Yes, they didn't follow. Vietnam didn't follow the Western playbook. So,
Playbook.
Playbook. How to recover? What it means is how to recover your economy after a war. How to recover your economy quickly. They didn't follow the Western way of doing.
Okay. Model,
They
right?
they didn't follow the Western model.
Yeah.
They also did not follow the Chinese model.
Yes.
So what happened was Vietnam, during that time, during Doi Moi and the years after that, following Doi Moi, Vietnam wrote their own model.
Yeah.
Yeah, you understand?
Yes.
And they're still doing that today. They are still doing that today. And that is what makes Vietnam an extraordinary country. I'm telling you, I've been living there for 6.5 years in the society, almost 7 years. I've seen how the people work and how the people operate and how they think. And I'm talking about Vietnamese people. I've seen how the government support their community, their citizens, how they support them. I've been there during COVID time. I've been there. I've been through COVID. I've been there, and I've seen what regulations that they brought in. I know what happened, how they found out about COVID. I know all that. I don't want to go too much into that, but I've seen a lot, and I was astonished by the way the government support their citizens. If I must compare that to what is happening currently in my own country, my own country, I'm telling you, there's a huge difference.
Yeah.
There's a huge difference. So I'm just going to read you this. The country is something for you to be proud of. The country that keeps winning and never stops adapting. Vietnam did not win by copying a system. it won by adopting faster than everyone else. Same land, same people, different
Yeah.
rules. The moment the
Yeah.
rules changed, everything changed. The
Mm.
countries that rise are not the strongest. They are the ones that adjust the fastest. The same applies to Vietnam. Most people, yeah, I'm not going to go any further, right, on this topic. But yes, it is, and I can read you some comments here about this article. There are, I just want to, and then we can discuss it if you've got time. There are 705 comments on this article,
Uh-huh.
and some of them says, I'm just gonna read you a few. Now,
Mm.
yes, a lady called Samantha. She's saying it is not about the government; it is the people.
Yeah.
She says Vietnamese people are one of the most resilient, and that we all know, right? Vietnamese people are one of the most resilient people. Whether you're here in the States, back in Vietnam, or anywhere in the world, and she must be Vietnamese because she's saying we are hardworking, resilient people. Now that we all know. Then
Yeah.
there's another guy that says, um, yeah, it's a bit negative, but he says, yeah, I'm sorry, but Vietnam is still very much lagging behind other Asian countries. You know what? I don't 100% agree with him. I think Vietnam is catching up very quickly. And as we all know, Vietnam's got is a country with the fastest growing GDP than any other country in Southeast Asia, by far.
Yeah,
By,
currently, yes.
by far. And it's not only now or for the past year or two, it's been for the last 8 years that the
Yeah.
economy is growing by 8% plus, between 7 and 8% plus per year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, no, this is very interesting. Do you've got any closing comment? I see that there's now 31 minutes gone. Do you want to enter class at 30 minutes?
That's fine. Can you send over to me the article? Then I would study and
Yeah.
yeah,
You,
I will check. Yeah.
you know what?
Discuss.
I just want to see how I'm gonna. Yes, I'm gonna forward it to you. I'm gonna put it in
Okay.
this group. I've sent it to my wife there on her Zalu.
Ah.
So
Uh-huh.
I'm just gonna wait for me. Let me do it while we are talking, so I don't forget. So yeah, you should have it one. You should have it in the group now. I've
Okay.
posted.
Okay. Yeah.
Do
I
you do
will
you
I will read it.
do you see it? Did you receive it?
I am using a phone, so
No, you can't
after
check.
yeah,
Okay.
but yeah, I receive a signal. It seems
Okay.
that the message forwarded.
Yeah, I think when we meet again, I would like to carry on with this topic for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to talk more about this, so we can continue here when we meet again.
Sure, we will elaborate in the next discussion, but because it's a very big topic.
It is, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
All right.
Okay, see you again.
See you. Good night.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.